Bangalore is still blessed with a temperate climate. So the outdoors become an important consideration. Light and air and veranda spaces and decks, those kind of permeable spaces become very, very important. They are always kind of semi-open spaces that add a lot of energy and feeling to all the spaces that we design. Hi, I'm Sandeep Khosla.
Hi, I'm Amaresh Anand.
And we are from the firm Khosla and Anand.
I invite you to explore House by the Park today. It's part of the Buildofy coffee table book, 10 Homes in Bengaluru.
The project is located in a colony called Dollars Colony.
The plot area was about 5,000 square feet and the built-up comes to about 11,500 square feet.
The plot is actually very interesting. There is very built-up area on the north side of the plot, and there was a beautiful triangulated park on the south side. So our thinking was to be very contextual to the surrounding green and to really orient all the views and all the spaces towards the park. So entering the house from the street, one has to negotiate an 8-feet plinth because the road is actually at a much lower level. So we've negotiated this 8 feet of plinth from the east road through a staircase which is flanked by these planes in corten steel and concrete. And once we arrive at the main door, which is clad in copper, one enters a foyer and then a very open plan of informal living space, a formal living space, a dining space, kitchen, and then all these kind of spaces open out into a south veranda.
So the living room opens into the deck with these beautiful sliding doors which slide onto the side and kind of, it has that large expanse of opening from the living into the deck. So for the fenestrations, we've used Accoya wood, which is kind of a sustainable approach. Also, what allowed with this particular system is that we could use wood and it had all the benefits of a modern aluminum window system, and it's very easy to operate, and more importantly, we could have soundproofing as well as weatherproofing without the fear of wood buckling.
There's also a Pooja Room. It kind of looks out into a water feature of the entrance. But it also has these sliding folding shutters that open out for larger gatherings. There's a lovely pitchway painting that actually takes center stage in the Pooja Room. So one of the most exciting elements of this house are these angled fins which are rendered in polished cement. These are actually concrete fins which run along the entire north elevation of the property, and you have this lovely pinhole glass which shields the views of the neighboring building.
And in order to allow for the ventilation to flow through and not allow for the rain to come in, we devised this little mesh window which you can open out, which is bottom hung, and there's a top hung glass window on the other side which lifts open, so it also protects from the rain, allowing for the breezes to flow through seamlessly into the house.
And then you've got a folded plate staircase in a burgundy color, juxtaposing a powder blue wall. There's a large artwork which is a carpet actually that Tanya and myself designed. It's a column collection. Then you've got this timber which actually drapes down this folded plate, and there are these wonderful cutouts on the staircase, which creates quite a graphic composition. On the first floor, you have just the family's bedrooms. There are 3 bedrooms, 2 children's bedrooms, and the master bedroom.
The master bedroom is designed in a way that it is overlooking the park. There's a large window which is on the south and the east facade, but the glass, there is no corner. The corner kind of disappears and the glass meets glass in order to kind of, exploit a 360 degree or a 180 degree view of the park itself. And there is one particular beautiful rain tree, which is probably the oldest tree in that park. And the bark of that kind of, is what is visible from this window. And keeping in sync with that, we also open the master bedroom toilet similarly with these pocket doors, and the corner disappears again. So the room doesn't have a corner in a sense. So we explored this lovely Juliet balcony with this Accoya wood door and window system, which allowed for the family room on the first floor to directly open into the deck and the park. So the second floor is intentionally recessed back from the edge of the building in order to kind of control the scale and keep the building in a sense just as a G+1 when you perceive it from the street.
I think the home theatre space on this level, because of this generous canopy, can really experience nature, because these large sliding doors kind of completely open out and you become one with the terrace and with the park.
Externally, there are certain aspects of the building or the facade which is defined by the oxide and juxtaposed with timber. Because again, that is a very natural kind of, unobtrusive and seamlessly blends into the green surrounding. And we've used Kota stone on the inside.
The way it's kind of planned, it just brings in a public space into the house with a very, very soft threshold, and the branches, the canopies of the trees at each level just kind of come into the house. So I think there's this wonderful symbiosis between the park and the house and the park.